Several weeks ago, I received the Instagram notification about a poll on whether Islam Dawah of Peace should debate myself. This is the first I'd heard of any debate. Upon asking what we're supposedly debating, and that was asked to me for some reason, I don't fucking know why, the subject of free speech arose, which is great for me as this is the type of thing I used to argue before I discovered flat earthers exist. As I'm unsure on my opponent's stance, beyond what I can see on his profile page, and given that I'm pro-free speech, I'm gonna assume he's here to argue the counter. Free speech, or freedom of expression, as defined by the European Convention on Human Rights, Article 10, is the concept of the inherent human right to voice one's opinion publicly without fear of censorship or punishment. The right is reserved in the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights and is granted formal recognition by the laws of most nations. Of course, this article is subject to certain domestic laws to protect such things as the interests of national security, public safety, for the protection of health and for the protection of others' rights. One of the few things I know about my opponent is that he's based in Morocco. Whilst researching for this debate, I've discovered Morocco has some tight restrictions on freedom of expression, association and assembly, which is enforced through several laws, as well as putting restrictions on both print and online press, imposing administrative obstacles to restrict journalists' work, and prosecuting those who speak out against the government and or the king, as questioning the legitimacy of the monarchy or questioning the king's territorial integrity is illegal. According to Human Rights Watch, there is some room for debate within the Moroccan media, however such debate does not tackle significant subjects. In public discourse, free speech is vital. Whether we're talking about religion, politics, feminism, racism, Karens, or any other controversial subject, as you cannot have a true discussion on most subjects with restrictions on what's being said. Look at these fucktards.
Hey guys, you want to hear a funny story while we're all chatting, dude? I'm dating a first grader.
Shut the fuck up, Nathan.
Yeah, they're all cockwaffles. But they do have the right to say whatever bullshittery they can manage to get out of their ass flaps, and then by extension, I have the right to call them ass flaps, cockwaffles and fucktards. You can't make exceptions on free speech, as once you do, you open the door for everyone to demand an exception for whatever offends them. Free speech is a thing you're either for or against, and if you say you're for it but want to limit it based on feelings, then you're just using it as a justification of your position because reasons. Unless that is you're unaware that demanding, wanting, or even just getting your right or ability to voice your opinion, belief, or dislike of whatever idea is relevant at the time, in turn gives people the exact same right or ability to voice their counter opinion, belief, or dislike in the same manner. Do I agree with platforms censoring their content? No, do a fuck. But I do support their right to do so, as forcing them to make changes would be an infringement of their rights, and your rights stop as soon as they infringe on someone else's. Just one final point and question. It is easy to hate speech, but who would you put in charge or trust to decide what is and what isn't hate speech? Also, don't be a turd. Wear a mask.
Freedom isn't free. No, there's a hefty fucking fee. And if you don't throw in your $1.05, who will? Ooh, $1.05. Freedom costs $1.05.